Okay, we just saw The Walk, the movie based on the based on the story of Philippe Petit, who tight-roped across the Twin Towers.
And it was a Zemeckis film, so
yeah, it's a Zemeckis film, yeah.
So, what'd you guys
And-
think?
I thought it was good.
Me too.
I
Really,
enjoyed it.
really
What
good.
a
It was
movie,
worth
yeah.
the wait. It was worth the wait. I saw the trailer so many times, and I'm just like, after a while, I was like, okay, but then after now seeing it, I'm like, this is actually really good. I really
I'm
liked
with-
it. I
I'm
liked
with
it better
Alex.
than The
Wasn't
Martian.
overhyped, yeah.
I'm with Alex.
Really? You liked it more than The Martian?
Yeah, I did. I actually did.
I guess I did too.
I've
but-
seen the trailer. So I saw the trailer to this, like even the first teaser, and then the trailer so many times. I thought it was gonna be all.
And it
Yeah,
actually
whatever.
didn't even feel
But
like
it's
that. Like
good.
it didn't actually feel like the trailer at all. Like,
Yeah.
the trailer felt
Yeah,
a little
the-
different in a way.
Yeah, I was really surprised at the way that that the story is presented to us. It's told by the guy fourth wall breaking while he's standing on the torch of the Statue of Liberty, telling us his story.
He's really
Also,
likable.
this is a really
Yeah.
good
Like-
tribute to the two towers without going 9/11 territory.
Yeah.
Like, whenever somebody tries to do a tribute, it's always got to be
Yeah.
about 9/11. Like when at the end when there was at the end where it was showing the Twin Towers, I was like, oh, please don't show any planes go near it. Thank God they didn't do
Yeah.
that.
It did make it did.
Although-
It did sadden me though what he
Mhm.
must have felt that day if he was
Yeah.
alive.
I
if
think
he was
they
still alive.
I think they should have addressed what he said because when it's all over, people are telling him I think people they think the towers mean something now or something. What did they say exactly?
that he gave them a life of their own.
And so he always
Since-
always thought of them as his towers.
Did you say that
And
they're
when
rebuilding it,
9/11
though? That they're rebuilding it? They're thinking about. Are they rebuilding the Twin Towers?
I don't
No.
know.
I mean, you know the One World Trade Center, right?
Oh.
The new tall building that's 1,776 feet high.
Because if they did rebuild them, that'd be they should do like a celebration with him like crawling across them. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
When I went to North Carolina last year, we went to a hotel. The rooftop on there, clear view of the new World Trade Center. Yeah. So anyway, he always thought of the Twin Towers as his towers, but when 9/11 happened, he writes in his book, "My towers became our towers." So, I think they might have put that in there because that's kind of what I felt like the movie was. That's what the movie focused on, them being the icons of his dream, and that's really not all that they were.
Yeah. What-
So
Wait.
that's the only thing that I think could have made the movie better.
Well, I was okay with that because it was about him though. It wasn't really about people, or it was about him. So that's. I mean, I understand
Yeah.
that what you're saying
Yeah.
about the.
He's
That it
very
is,
well.
you're right. That is true, but at the same time, it can also mean something to someone. It can, it's, and this is focusing on what the Towers were to him. Of course, that's just his thing. It's not saying at all like, oh, well, that means it's not special to you because you're not him or something like that. They weren't saying that at all. They were just. It was the movie was from his his perspective. It was always about him. It was never about anyone else. Like it was about him and his experience about what he felt about the towers.
And you know what's funny is that some of the things in that movie, some of the things that happen in the movie, you'd think are just Hollywoodized. They're just like Hollywoodizing it. You think some things in there didn't actually happen, but a lot of it really did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. Like, I knew he walked across the flood. I didn't know he did all that. Like, why he kept going back and
Yep.
forth.
Yeah.
It's just, that entire scene is
Yeah.
like.
I know that he lied down on it. I don't know if I read anywhere else that he did all that other stuff, but yeah, I'm sure he could have if he could lie down on it.
Also, I noticed that Ben
Yeah, and
Schwartz's
so-
character wasn't at the wrap-up party. The one who quit. He was like, I'm quitting. They're taking the picture, sending it
Yeah.
to the police.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it was really...
Yeah, and that whole sequence when he's on the wire, it is just nerve-wracking. You can, especially if you see it in IMAX 3D. It's only in IMAX 3D right now, and
Wide release. I
you
think,
can
Oh, the 3D
you can
was
really.
just
Oh yeah,
good.
superb.
There were some
And-
scenes though where they did shoot something in your face, which that's not. It's only bad if it's used too much. Like if it's
Yeah.
the way it was used in the film wasn't bad. I'm just saying that, like if it's used
man.
too much, it can be
Yeah.
really annoying.
Yeah, but seeing it when he's up there, even when he's not on the wire, even when he's like at the corner of the building, you can really feel the size of these things.
Oh yeah, because it was great in
yeah.
IMAX. I think even
Yeah.
maybe even better than Everest. Though Everest was really good too, but
Yeah.
it's just
Like-
Yeah, I would say better than Everest too. This is probably the best looking film I've seen all year.
This film was definitely made for 3D. Like the
Yeah.
way they used it. Like think in layers. Like the characters are one layer and the background is one layer, and you're seeing it like that.
Yeah, I guess if I had a problem with this movie, it's probably that maybe I mean, I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but maybe Zemeckis shouldn't have hired him because he's not really a big draw, and I think that's the reason. Because when we saw it, there was barely anyone there. Because even if it's a late movie, if people really want to see a movie, they'll go, even if it's late. So I'm thinking maybe that. And he's not really which it sucks because he's a really good actor, but it's just he's not really a draw, and I'm feeling like that could maybe push the movie back and maybe not make people see it as much. That's why I think they were advertising a lot because they probably knew that, okay, well he's not a big draw, but if we advertise it a lot and keep people wanting to see it, maybe people will see it. But
I don't think IMAX 3D is all that really popular either. It'll probably get a bigger audience when it opens everywhere on Friday.
Like
Well,
I
like I said, it might
I
not,
know
though.
what
You
you
never
know what my opinions are on 3D.
Yeah.
Like, but in this case, it was really good.
Yeah.
was handled because if 3D's handled, even The Martian, you guys didn't see The Martian in 3D, like it was really good
Yeah.
too. If it's handled well, it could be handled well. Like even like I've heard Avatar's 3D was great, but I never saw that in 3D. I only saw it in 2D, so couldn't tell you about that. But but if it's like what I mostly like if I see a 3D movie is if they immerse you in the 3D. It's not about trying to shove stuff in your face. See, I think this film did both. Like it did have some some stuff, but it wasn't too bad. And then there was just there was an atmosphere like the when you're on top of the building. It's like whoa, it really did help. The 3D did help.
Yeah.
Same thing with Everest too. I felt Everest was more about what was going with the 3D was the experience in a way. Like it was helping with the tall, like the mountains and the snow and all that. It just was really interesting. Like it's just like it felt like these movies were like it felt like this movie was because I think it was. I think Zemeckis meant for this movie to be in 3D. So you can tell that because he does that. He does whenever he's been doing movies lately for 3D, and he knows how to do it. Like because he knows how to light it up. He doesn't make it dark, and it's not just like let's add 3D in later to get some more money.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Disney's Christmas Carol should have really been made because that was just mostly just for the 3D. And so, yeah,
Also, there have been
3D
Christmas
and
carols been told to death.
Yeah.
There should be. I mean, Charles Dickens has made a lot more Christmas.
Yeah, but it's
Okay,
We got to
really
get together this
timeless.
holiday season. I got to show you guys the George C. Scott version of the Christmas Carol. It's the best one out there.
it's I find like The Martian, there isn't anything I didn't like strongly about this film, you know?
Yeah.
I wasn't sitting there, not a single moment in that I was sitting there and feeling something wrong, you know? I was totally immersed in this movie, and
Yeah, it
it's
was.
it's rare for me to not find anything
I
wrong.
didn't agree with that about The Martian, but I did really like this film, and I do think it's better than The Martian, in my opinion, of course. But it's just that like it definitely, especially maybe just because I like Zemeckis better. I guess I don't know, but
Yeah.
I felt the characters were really likable.
Oh, yeah.
even his girlfriend Fish Eyes. I call her that because she looks like a fish. Is Fish Eyes. But she was that one. She was in the 100-Foot Journey. That's like the other movie I saw her in, which I actually liked her better in this because in that movie she was kind of the whiny. She was kind of like she was this one chef, and like the one guy was getting more attention than her, and though they ended up falling in love anyways. But it's just like she was kind of. I didn't like her so much in that, which I liked her much better in this. I felt she was much more. like more. And Ben Kingsley was great.
Ben
Yeah,
I'm just
Ben
trying to-
Kingsley was great.
Ben
Yeah.
King, which he's been doing great lately. Actually, he hasn't just been playing like villain. Like there was that time where he was in a bunch of really bad movies like Blood Rain and a bunch of other stuff. It just what else was it?
I shudder.
I know a lot of people don't like Prince of Persia, but I kind of liked Prince of Persia actually.
No, I haven't seen it. I can't really give it.
That kind of did.
But he's been doing really much better lately. Like I forgot the last movie he was in, but he was in
Learning to Drive.
I didn't see that one. No, there was another one he was in that I'm talking about wide release stuff that I've seen him in lately that he's been really good in. I've recently been I didn't finish but started watching Schindler's List. He's really good in that too. But he's a good actor, and it's nice to see him kind of, get back to really good roles instead of just, I'm a bad guy. Like, he just loves to play villains, and I'm glad he's starting to kind of stop doing that.
And so what makes this movie different from the documentary Man on Wire, it shows us more about, like, just how they pulled this off. This movie is more about the man himself. And there's things about this guy that are really intriguing. I mean, he opens the movie saying how people ask him why he risks death, but he says, "This isn't death at all to me. It's life." And
I mean, because that's what you got to do for like you can make a movie about making the thing, but that might not get people's interest. Like I think people want more, like about the person, like what's the guy like.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's what they kind of had. That's what I'm glad they did that. Like because I've never saw the documentary. My mom did, and she said she said it was really good, and I'll check it out eventually.
Yeah, I think I heard about the documentary.
But yeah, I heard about it before this. But yeah, this is. But I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, that's what a documentary would be more about how the thing was made, but then a movie version would probably be more about the person behind it.
Yeah.
But,
although, why was this movie PG? There's one scene in this movie doesn't feel like PG material.
Well, because he was naked. It wasn't like they showed anything really
That's
too
true.
bad.
See his butt.
Yeah, that's not that bad. That's not really
It
considered.
could have been much worse.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
That's kind of all we saw of Matt Damon in The Martian. That was PG-13. Although it was also like the language and stuff.
It was
But
also had some
Really?
some
but
PG-13?
I don't
that
think
was PG-13? No.
yeah, Martian.
yeah.
He drops the F. We hear 2 full F-bombs
Yeah.
twice, and
You're only
a
allowed
bunch
one.
of others that are implied.
There's also some really violent. There's also there's that scene where he got stabbed, and there's a bunch
You're
of
only
other stuff.
no. You're only allowed one. One in a PG-13.
No,
movie.
you can have 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can have 2.
yeah, you can have 2. It doesn't not everyone
Really?
thinks it's just 1, but yeah, you can have like a 1 or 2.
Yeah,
maybe
Social
3.
Network had 2.
Hmm.
Remember Me had 2. Okay, well, yeah. So I gotta say, go see this movie, especially in IMAX 3D.
Yeah.
Don't miss it in IMAX 3D. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
And I do hope it'll get nominated for an Oscar or 2, or maybe 7 or something.
Yeah, though I'm hoping. What I really do hope is that I do. Besides just IMAX, I really think people should see this because like I said, with our theater being empty, it could have been that it was late. But I'm just afraid that even when it comes out wide release, I'm afraid that it's not gonna do so well. Like The Martian's gonna probably take up more time, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just kind of afraid. I'm just kind of scared, kind of terrified. I just hope this movie does well because, like I said, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's not a big draw, which is kind of sucks because I think he's a really good actor and. He's even a good film guy. Like he has that show Hit Record TV where it's all about filmmaking. Like he's giving all these young filmmakers chances and stuff. So he's a great. He seems like a nice guy in real life too. Like he's someone I think people should. I wish he was someone that more people liked.
So I'm going to give The Walk an A-.
Oh, yeah, around that.
I'll give it an A+. I really liked it. That's
All right.
I like.
Okay, so we don't have any new trailers, so
There's a new Spectre trailer, but we've already talked.
That's
we've-
true,
we've
but it
talked
doesn't
about
really show us anything new. It's just it's pretty short.
Yeah.
All right, so next week we got Pan coming to theaters. Steve Jobs is getting a limited release, And we also have that Finding Noah documentary.
So that's a Phantom Events thing. That's not actually like a full movie.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a special Phantom Events like TV thing or something like
Hmm.
that. That looks interesting though in a way.
Yeah.
Because it looks like I guess they have like a one guy who's kind of a cynical guy. Like we're not going to find Noah's Ark. Like I kind of think that's kind of interesting. Like that they're having some cynical people too. It's not just we're Christians all looking for the truth. It's not just that. Like there's actually some people who are kind of cynical too. It's not just, and I think there's actually scholars there too. It's not just like it doesn't look like it's a documentary made just by like a bunch of like faith guys or something. I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's find out if next week's movie deserves to be panned.
Ow! Ew!
Why are you looking at me like that?
That was horrible! Ow!
You're worrying. You're thinking too much about the other joke. You didn't realize the other terrible pun I just made. Why are you looking at me like that?
Ow!